and welcome to today's video with me, Chloe. Today's a little bit different from the traditional Q&A day. Now, today I want to tell you a story about a magic number. It's a little bit like the magic beans, except there's not a giant beanstalk. Instead, my hope is that this magic number, not these magic beans, this magic number is going to help you to unlock your greatness and go out there and take the next step towards actually making your dreams a reality. Now, believe me, I know how fluffy that sounds, but bear with me while I tell you about this magic number. 3.59.4. 3.59.4. Now, if you don't know what that number means, it is the time in which the first man was known to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Now, just a decade before, research had been carried out and they said this is impossible. Now, the definition of impossible is, it cannot physically be achieved. It cannot be done. In fact, research went as far as to say if you were to run a mile in under 4 minutes, you would die. Just a decade before. Now, in 1954, Sir Roger Bannister did just that, and he didn't die. He ran a mile in 3.59.4 seconds. He was the first man known to make that happen, basically wiping out all of that research because he proved that you could do it. He didn't settle for, no, it's impossible. Instead, he said, no, it's difficult, but I can do this, and he did it. Now, as magical and incredible as that is, the real value of this lesson and the story here comes just 2 weeks after Sir Roger Bannister did that, when another person ran a mile. Now remember, up until the beginning of time, until this day in 1954, this had not happened. It could not be achieved. It was impossible. That's what they said, not physically possible to achieve. Roger Bannister did it. 2 weeks later, somebody else was able to run a mile in under 4 minutes. And not long after that, a high school student done it. Now, since then, multiple people have run a mile in under 4 minutes. And the thing about that is, if you think about, the beginning of time till this point, research says it can't be done. So how did that happen? How did it happen? Nothing changed in our biological makeup. Nothing. Which proves only one thing. It is all in the mind. Now, we talk about this all the time when we talk about goals and dreams, but to say you will die if you try to run a mile in 4 minutes, and then to achieve it, it proves what is possible. Now, there's a huge difference between definitions. Impossible and difficult are not the same thing, and that is why I wanted to create this video today, because a lot of us say, I can't do that, it's impossible. They can't do that, it's impossible. It's impossible. It's not true. It's difficult. It's maybe unlikely. The stakes are maybe against you. But if there is a 1 in a billion shot, then there's a chance. And if there's a chance and it's something you believe in, you have to take it. This proves that it's all in the mind. In fact, another example, and not to go down the route of politics here, but a lot of people said, Donald Trump could not be president. Yet this is one of the biggest political weeks in history because a non-politician with very little to no experience of politics is now the president of the United States of America. Now, the only reason I bring that up is because, again, many people said it's impossible. The only difference is Donald Trump believed in himself, just as Roger Bannister believed in himself, and just like all of your big heroes and influencers and the great people of the world believed in themselves. They didn't stutter, they didn't doubt. They knew that something was difficult, but they knew it was possible. And the reason I bring it up, as I said again, is that we all have to shift our mindset and to change our way of thinking. Now, the great thing about this is that All of it, most of it, it all comes down to habits. Now, and again, as research showed, for a long time, scientists didn't believe that your brain was neuroplastic, but there is proof now that it is, which means that it can be reprogrammed. Now, if it can be reprogrammed and rewired, we just have to rewire and rework the way we're thinking. The reality is, you do not know what you're capable of until you go past the furthest point you've ever been. Right? Until you get that point and then you go past it, do you know you can do more? And we know that we can all do more. We can all grow. We can all learn. But we have to take those steps to making that happen. Now, your brain can be reprogrammed, which means that's what we have to do. We have to change our default setting in our mind, which may be, it's impossible, I can't do this is too hard, I'm going to fail. All of these negative thoughts, you need to get yourself a mind bouncer and get them out of there, kick them out, and don't let them be present. And instead, what you want to do is start incorporating good habits, and that takes discipline, right? We can't rely on willpower. We all know that we have a very small amount of willpower, and if you rely on that, you will do good in the beginning, but we all tend to lapse. It's the same reason you get to the end of the day and then you eat a big bit of cake, even though you've been good the whole day and you don't really need the bit of cake. When your willpower is low, that's when we tend to give up. So we need to have a little bit of discipline, and we need to make things habits, and we need to stop making our goals optional. And part of that is taking out that excuse of it's impossible. It's not impossible, it's just difficult. And again, if there's a 1 in a billion shot, if that's something you believe in, go all in on that 1 in a billion shot and make it happen. You know, once you have reprogrammed your mind, it is just about taking action. That is the difference. You know, we can all sit there and complain that we're not getting to where we want to go. Like, we can all be like, oh yeah, I want to get on that bus to success. That's heading to my destination. That's where I want to go. But I'm just sitting at the bus stop. I'm never taking a step on that bus. I'm never taking a step towards that direction. I'm just sitting here complaining about that place that looks real pretty that I want to go. Right? You have to be willing to take the risk, to take a chance, to go in and actually execute, because again, that's a huge difference. Roger Bannister did not achieve that overnight. Reps build muscle, right? It was consistency, habits, making it happen, belief in himself, and confidence, and knowing the definition between impossible and difficult. If something is impossible, it cannot physically be achieved by anyone or anything, right? It's not possible. Difficult is going to be hard, and you're going to be tested. But here's the thing, there's a reason that only a very small percentage of people achieve the lifestyle they want to achieve, and it's because it's hard. It's because it's boring and it's tough and you want to give up 24/7. You're doubting yourself and it's hard, and you're thinking, why am I doing this? It's a roller coaster, but it's a roller coaster that takes you on the most magical journey if you let it and if you believe in it. And you know, it's worth it. It's worth it if you believe in something, if you want it badly enough. You know, you can achieve anything. And the reason I bring that up is because, again, a lot of the time when we talk about this stuff, it sounds real fluffy, but to physically take a statistic, to take something and say, you know, you say I'm going to die if I run under a mile in under 4 minutes, watch me. And then to go on and do it, and then for other people to follow on so quickly, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. It happened because suddenly the barrier had been taken away, right? There was no longer that glass ceiling. People started to believe it was possible, so then they went out and did it. Remember, you never know what you're truly capable of until you go past the furthest point you've ever been. So once again, I don't know if you got some value from this. I truly hope you did. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you want to achieve in life, what your dream is, and let me know how I can help you in any way possible. You know, I really mean this when I say this at the end of every video. You know, every single person has the power to change the world, one connection and one conversation at a time. Much love from my heart to yours. I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and hopefully we'll speak soon. I'll join you in the comments.